Hi, I'm Betty Banjack, and this is Downtown Kitchen. We're so glad that you're able to come back with us for this third series of Downtown Kitchen. I think the next few weeks there'll be a lot of new shows and a lot of new recipes, and you're really going to enjoy it. One of the things I wanted to mention is back is the fireplace. Last summer when we were filming, it was so hot. I mean, you can't believe how cold it is out today. And a few months ago, we were sweating, yes, I use that word, not perspiring, sweating into all the dishes we were making during that 6 weeks. It was really a grueling summer, and it's just as cold today. Something I want to mention is the Sesquicentennial Cookbook. The Sesquicentennial Cookbook is being put out by the Phoenixville Sesquicentennial Commission, excuse me. There is a committee that works with that, and the book has gone to the publisher. And I want to explain to a few of you how it's going to work. You can tell your friends if they didn't get a chance to watch. When the book is ready, which will probably be sometime in March, middle of March, late March, the book will come and be ready. And the people that originally brought into the book, when they paid their original $10 to submit their 1 or 2 recipes, and then they were guaranteed a book for that $10, what we're going to do is, as soon as the cookbooks are in, or we know they're on their way in, we will send out to you a letter explaining where you can pick up your cookbook and to make arrangements to do that. I think it's an excellent way of distributing them. A lot of people asked how we were going to distribute them. We weren't quite sure, but we will be sending you a letter telling you all the particulars, and you will be able to pick up the cookbooks at that time. I'd like to mention the people that were on my committee for that. It was long and it was tedious sometimes, and we had quite a few recipes to go over and a lot of work to do on the book itself. First of all, there was my mother, Elizabeth Banjack, and there was Dina Newkirk, and our guest that we had today, Peggy. Peggy was part of the cookbook. That's why she called me that first night. And then there was Dorothy McMasters and Kathleen Fedorsig and Jeannie Kane Redmond. This was the committee there were 7 of us. We worked very hard. We're very proud to be part of the Sesquicentennial Cookbook, and we hope that you will get them. There will be other books available beyond the original people that bought in. So we will let you know when the books are out and when they'll be available, and I think you should really enjoy them. It's a wonderful cross-section of Phoenixville recipes and a wonderful cross-section of featuring churches. So we'll let you know more about that as time goes on. Well, we're going to go into the kitchen now, and you can meet my guest, and we'll be right back. Hi, here we are in the kitchen again, and I'm here with my friend Peggy Lineal. And is that how you say your name?
Very good.
Oh, good. I had trouble with that. I preconceived it to be said some other way, and then forever, that's your name.
I answered anything.
Okay. Peggy's from Chicago before she came to Phoenixville, and I had to tell a little story. I think literally Peggy called me within 24 hours of moving to Phoenixville. She read in the paper about the Sesquicentennial Cookbook and wanted to be on the committee. Now, that's a dedicated person. Where I had trouble getting some of the community members to come out and be volunteers. Peggy was right there on the phone. I don't know, she said she got in at 1 o'clock and she had called me the next evening by 8, I think. So she was on the cookbook committee with the rest of us, and she's from Chicago now, but she originally was from Maryland.
Correct.
And she's very big on making the Maryland crab cakes, or Eastern Shore crab cakes. So she has another name for them.
Chick's crab cakes, my dad.
Oh, that's your dad. And he had a restaurant?
He had a restaurant. He was an awesome cook.
Okay.
So these are his.
Does he still make these?
No, we cook for him now.
Oh, you make them for him. That's a good way to go. Well, you want to start with what you're doing and explain to us. It looks like there's not many ingredients. So
there's not. It is so easy.
And go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right. You can get the crab in 2 different ways. You can get it pasteurized, or you can get it, I guess this is pasteurized as well. I actually prefer this, but they didn't have a lot of it left. This is, you want to get the back fin or the lump crab meat, and that's a clue. If you go to a restaurant and they have Maryland crab cakes, you ask them if it's back fin. If they say, what's back fin, don't order them. And one of the things, what I like to do is to go through it to begin with. So you want to kind of pour it in and then rinse it a little bit. And the only reason is, because even though it's been picked through, there can be yellow stuff in here that they call mustard, and it won't hurt you I just don't particularly care for it. I also don't want shells in my crab cakes. But one of the things, oh thanks. One of the things you want to make sure that you do is...
Excuse me, did you note the running water on this? All right, I just wanted to point that out.
You know, I don't think on the Food Network they have running water.
Not many. They all wash their hands in a bucket. Drives me crazy.
So then you have your...
that looks good.
Isn't this great? This is the yellow stuff that is called mustard, but that's fine. But you want to keep it pretty fluffy.
What kind of spoon is that? I've never seen that.
I don't know. I've only seen it once, and I've had this for years. I need another one. If you ever find one, get it. I'll pay for it.
What's it for?
Well, anything you want. I don't know what its real reason is, but the reason I use it here is that I don't want to break up the lumps of crab meat.
That's a good idea. I want one.
Yeah, they're awesome. You would put a half a cup of breadcrumbs. Now I'm making a half a batch. This is actually for a pound of crab meat, and there's about a half a pound here. So you put about a quarter of a cup of breadcrumbs, and I actually like the ones that have the Italian seasoning in them. And I don't want any more breadcrumbs in my crab cakes but that. Then you want to put in just about 1/8 of a cup of mayonnaise. We just don't tell my dad that it's low fat.
You know, most people really don't know low fat if it's especially in cooking.
Yeah, you really don't.
They say they can, but they don't.
And since we're going to cook it in butter, we need a little low fat in here. So you put a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, just, you know, a sprinkling. Then you want an egg. Now, it's an egg in a full pound, so you actually literally put about a half an egg in here. Now, I like to mix mine because I'm real phobic about it. I like my eggs mixed really well. I don't like little bits of white in it. So just put, you know, a little bit together in there, because all it is to hold the stuff together, as you know. Now, I took about a half a tablespoon of dry mustard and a little bit of salt, and a little bit of pepper just to taste. But then you want to put in a teaspoon of Old Bay. And don't get any generic brands. You want Old Bay. It's the best. It's got, oh gosh, I don't even know what's in it. It's got a ton of stuff in it.
It's powerful stuff.
It is. It's great. You can't smell on TV. But I have this already mixed together. Just go ahead and pop that in. You just kind of want to stir it lightly because you don't want to break up the crab meat. That's one of the biggest things. I hate going to a restaurant and getting a crab cake, and it's either got a lot of filling, or it's got, it doesn't have big lumps. I want to bite in. I want to see big lumps in my crab cakes. Okay, so after you have it all mixed, you want to heat up some butter. You actually can broil them or bake them, but this is really the way you ought to do it. And I'm going to take my wedding ring off so it doesn't end up all gunky. And then you just want to make some up, whatever size you like. I don't happen to like huge ones. But just kind of pat it together. And you can see there that there's big lumps in there. I mean, it's huge.
They're great consistency.
And then you just lay them on in. Now, the other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to keep flipping these over because they will fall apart because there's not a lot of filler in them. So you just want to kind of lay them in and let them cook on up until they're done on one side, flip them one time. All you're really trying to do is heat them through. And, of course, since we've got an egg in there, you don't want it...
You got to cook the egg.
Right. And you can actually do it without an egg. But
I like... What about just egg white? Would that... For people that are really
yeah, I don't see why not. And like I said, if you were really conscious about cholesterol, I would do it, frankly, with no egg. Just, you know, you've got maybe put a speck more mayonnaise, sure.
Put more mayonnaise in, forget the egg, you know.
Speck more low-fat mayonnaise.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's about it. You just let it cook on up, and I'll flip one over here. Can I wash my hands? I'm going to wash my hands.
Okay. Again, the running water, please note.
Oh, no bucket. We have running water.
I noticed that a long time ago, these really high-tech shows had, you know, wonderful equipment. They could do everything, and then they go and wash their hands in a bucket, either behind them or underneath the sink. I think at one point, Jeff Smith had real running water for a while, and that's the first and the only show that I remember seeing it on.
So, you know, I just keep, if you haven't sprayed it with Pam, I keep moving it a little bit, but without flipping it or trying to... You don't want it to break up. Although, I've eaten a few broken up, and they're still just as good. And actually, you know what's really great is the next day we take leftovers. They freeze great. We take leftovers and break them up on top of a baked potato.
Oh, I would like a leftover sandwich even out of this because I like cold crab. I mean, hot's good, but cold's even better. Are you left-handed?
I am.
Gee, I'm impressed.
This is an awesome thing. So you can see they get a little brown on top. You don't want them to be burnt, and it's not like putting them in a batter, so it's not like a deep frying.
Would you flip this one again because of the color? There's a light one in there.
No, I
It's
wouldn't.
much lighter than the rest.
I wouldn't.
Oh.
I actually prefer them lighter because this will be a little bit crunchy, but some people like them that way.
Crunchy's good.
Crunchy's good. I could use some paper towels. Sure. That's the only thing. You put them on paper towel or a piece of newspaper, and actually newspaper works great to soak up the oil.
I'm looking. I hope the right person. Oh, here's our assistant George. Thank you, George. You want a plate too, or just a towel?
Yeah, this is fine.
And I'm going to move this bowl.
So all you do then is take them out. You see it's nice and done on each side. That one got a little crunchy there.
Oh, we have to eat that one. It broke.
We have to eat that. Well, we've got some already made, too.
Well,
We've got enough for a party, Betty.
Hey, gee.
There you go.
I have a potato casserole that I want to show you how to make that I think that'll go really well with that.
Oh,
Why don't I
awesome.
get a plate? Where's the pretty plate you had? I mean, they're the ones that are already done?
They're already
Why
done.
don't we put them on that plate with it? I want to mention,
On a handmade plate.
yes, Peggy is going to be opening a new enterprise near Phoenixville on White Horse Road behind the herb garden. And it's
Correct.
going to be called Ceramics by Me. And you're able to go there and design your own dishes.
Everything's already done in bisque. You just paint it, leave
And
it,
have it, and you come back.
glaze it, and fire it a week later, and it's
And there's-
obviously food safe.
There's a lot of things you can do with it. I have a neighbor who's interested in it because he wants to do his own tiles.
That's a great idea.
And more than anything, he's looking for the kiln, which is hard to get and come by in life. Not everyone has one. You need a lot of power to say, well, you want to put those on with that? And
That's great.
when we have the potato casserole, we can taste it all. Oh, they look wonderful. Did I tell you the rules of the house are you have to leave everything that's left over?
Well, that's just fine.
But there's never much left over, let me tell you. Between all of us, we always seem to eat most of it.
I would just say definitely never scrimp on the quality of crab meat that you get. And it's expensive, but when you figure that it's about $12 for a half a pound, but you figure you get 4 meals out of that. I mean, you get 4 portions.
Okay, a half a pound went into this recipe, right?
Right.
And you made, because
I
this,
made
like,
4.
4 and then 4, so 2 half pounds. But the recipe calls for a full
The
pound,
recipe calls for a full pound.
so that's $24 for the
About that, right.
for the crab meat. And we're looking at 8 crab cakes, so we're looking, I think, at a good deal. We're not looking at
Absolutely.
anything that you can't afford, and if you can't afford it, maybe, I hate to even say this because it's your recipe and you might cringe, but a lot of people use the sea legs now, and
No.
see, I told you she'd cringe.
Oh,
And they wouldn't taste the same, but you could do that with that. It would be I don't know, it would be the same.
Chick would not like that.
Now, I'm sure Chick would not like that. I wouldn't even like it, but I just trying to tell people different ways to try to do things. And can you use a cheaper grade of crab meat if...
Well, you can use claw meat, which is good, and it's actually normally a little bit sweeter than back fin, but you're not going to have, again, here, we'll just pop this one. You can see, I don't normally use my fingers, but you can see the size of the lumps. I mean, that's, you're not going to have that with claw. With claw meat, you're going to have little pieces.
Okay. Well, then maybe
But
you
that's
should,
fine.
Skip the sea legs I was talking about, and try a lesser grade of crab then, because they're wonderful. I've had these before at Peggy's house, and Peggy is married to George, and they live just on the outskirts of Phoenix, and they have a little dog, who's a wonderful little dog. And I was there for dinner one night, and she had made these, and we really, really liked them. So
I was lucky to be on the show.
yeah, that's how she got to be on the show, because she made these so well that night. When I was looking for new guests for this series, I thought, Peggy has to make her, her crab cakes, and I'll be happy. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to mention about this?
I can't think of anything. I think they're awesome. People put tartar sauce on if you like that. It's a little mayonnaise, low fat, a little bit of pickle relish and a little bit of pickle juice or ketchup. People cringe when I say that, and you always have to have potatoes with them. So I'm glad Betty's doing
So we're
potatoes.
going to do potatoes. I realized that when you said that to me one day, so I said, well, I'll have to do a potato dish.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let Peggy rest a little after all the
Well,
cooking,
thank you.
and we'll be right back.